Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video we'll have a look at this new Motorola Edge 40 smartphone. And I have to say, after a long time, I'm actually pretty impressed with a smartphone like this. And this is the successor to the Motorola Edge 30 series, which was actually pretty popular. In fact, I got 2 units of this smartphone. I've already opened one of the unit, as you can see, and I've did quite a bit of testing, but I left the other one so that I can open it to you. And in fact, I now actually know the pricing of this one, and I'm even more excited because earlier when I got the phone, I didn't know the pricing, and I frankly thought, yes, this has some very interesting specs for the what it is. It's having a curved 3D screen with 144 Hertz refresh rate, IP68 rating, wireless charging, and a lot of things that we generally find in Flagship. So I was curious, and I thought, yes, it's Motorola, they'll be aggressive with the pricing. So I thought it'll be priced at around 36,000 or something like that. But we came to know the pricing, and again guys, these are the review units, so I know the pricing. They have priced it for 29,999, so that's just about 30,000. And I think so, because of that pricing, this can be the new value flagship killer in the market. So here is the phone. We do get a case in this one. In fact, we have some offers also. The regular pricing, as I've told you, is about that 30,000, but you can get 2,000 rupees off if you exchange it, or you also have 6 months no cost EMI. So we have, oh, again, the packaging, this is paper, so it's not using plastics and stuff. So eco, so this is the case, plastic case that you're getting. You get the SIM ejector tool also. I'll keep that to the side. And here is the device. Again, this is paper. And one more interesting thing to note is that this smartphone actually comes in 2 variants. The one that we have, this one, the greenish color. This is actually, vegan leather on this one. Whereas the blue one, this is having the typical, plasticky back that you get. So this looks feels very premium. In fact, there is also one more color. They didn't send that. That's the black color one. That also has this sort of vegan color finish. And Motorola claimed this smartphone to be the slimmest IP68 rated smartphone. So as they're claiming IP68, not even IP67. So as you can see, actually I dipped this smartphone in the water and played around with that, and I left it also for some time, and actually nothing happened to the phone. As you can see, this is the phone that I had dipped in the water. So IP68 rating we are getting. It also is supposed to have wireless charging. In fact, wireless charging up to 15 watts also. And if you notice, the screen is the curved screen. Again, it's an OLED screen, 144 Hertz. So pretty interesting. I'm happy that they are bundling the case. So let me just put this case in this one, and it doesn't add to the bulk of the device. Even with the case, it actually looks very slim. And yes, this is having the curved screen, but looks very stylish, I would say. Definitely, if you pick up this phone for the first time, you'll be mistaken to, and you'll assume that the cost of the phone is a lot higher, I have to say. Anyways, moving to the next, we do fortunately still get a charger, and this is supposed to be a 68 watt charger, type C to type C charging that we are getting. So nice to see that Motorola is now bumping up their fast charging game. So nice to see that 68 watt charger is supplied in the box. So this is the device itself. Another thing to note is that not only the phone is great to look, it's actually very light to hold. And Motorola, that's why I think so, the Motorola is claiming this one to be the lightest or the thinnest phone with IP68 rating. In fact, in terms of thickness, it's just 7.49 mm. In fact, in weight also, it's very light, just 167 grams. So that is also one thing that you notice immediately you pick up the phone. It is super light. But I'm happy that they didn't went with the generally what happens is that to reduce the weight or something, they use with the plastic chases. Here we have a full metal, that is aluminum chases on this one. That's why even in build quality, it feels very nice to hold. Let me give you a physical overview, then we'll move around. And again, this also has stereo speakers, and again, a Dolby Atmos and all those things. We have a secondary noise cancellation microphone. The volume up and down, and the power button is here on the side. I'll just press the power button so that it boots by the time we talk about it. And bottom again, that stereo speakers. And another small thing that I noticed with this smartphone, again, we don't find that in this category. I'll open the SIM tray. Again, also has the thin shield protection, and rubber gasket is there. Not only it's a dual nano SIM, but this one also supports eSIM. So again, that's an interesting thing. Generally, we don't find eSIM functionality in this price point. But I'm happy that, again, even though this one has that eSIM, we also have a proper dual nano SIM support also on this one. And this end actually very, very clean. So in terms of looks, it's very good. And if you notice at the back, we just have 2 cameras instead of 3, 4 cameras or something. The main camera is actually a 50 megapixel. But the aperture on this is 1.4. Yes, I'm not kidding, 1.4. Yes, it has OIS and all these things. And I was also very, very curious because aperture 1.4, generally even in the flagships, 1.7 aperture. We have seen some smartphones aperture 1.6, but I haven't seen 1.4. So I was also very curious. So yesterday at night, I took a lot of photographs in night conditions, which was generally a weakness with Motorola phone. And in fact, I have to say, the results were actually surprised me. I'll show you the camera samples in the later part of the video. Okay, the second camera, I like this, and I feel other manufacturers should also do that. The second camera actually does a function of a lot of things. It's a 13 megapixel, but it can also do ultra wide. Again, it can do that macro and also helps in the depth thing. So again, with just 2 cameras, they are covering everything. And again, we have the Motorola logo. It also has what you say in-display fingerprint scanner on this device. So let me quickly just set this up and then we will continue. So guys, I have just freshly set up this smartphone. In fact, as I've told you, I've got the 2 versions of this one. So I installed a lot of what do you say apps, benchmarks, etc. on this one. So we'll use that. I'll show you that one. But just wanted to show you what comes out of the box on this one. I didn't install any apps. And the good thing that I like is that this Motorola Edge 40 in India will come with 256 gigabytes of storage. So let me show you first how much storage, and again, very clean experience, close to stock Android that you expect with Motorola. That's the same case even with this one. And if I go to what do you say storage, as you can see, out of that 256, 238 gigabytes is available to you. So only about 18 gigabytes of space is used by the system. So that's actually good. And out of the box, this is coming with Android 13 out of the box that you are getting. And Motorola has also promised what do you say, next 2 Android upgrades and next 3 years of security updates. So that's what it is. I also like the fact that the screen quality is really, really good on this one. And this is again a OLED screen, but it can go up to 144 hertz. For example, let me actually show you. Let me just go to the display option, and if I go, also we do have that flicker prevention also at very low brightness. If you are bothered about that, you do have that option also. As you can see, display I've kept it to auto, but you can force it to 60, 120 or even 144 hertz. I kept it on 144 hertz and it is actually doing a pretty good job. And again, like most Motorola smartphones, again these are the default apps. Again, hardly any bloatware. Yes, Facebook was pre-installed, but again, as you can see, if I go to the app info, you can even uninstall that Facebook. So very clean experience, and you're getting the new version of this Moto Secure on this one. And I also like the fact that this Motorola Ready for Wireless is also there on this one. As you can see, I tested it with my television, and wirelessly also that works very well. So again, you are having all those features, and of course this also does have NFC. So again, in terms of features, it's having all the features that you expect. In fact, I didn't expect so many features at this price point. Coming to the fingerprint scanner, it's an in-display fingerprint scanner that you are getting. And if you notice, again, on both the handsets, let me just show you, works flawlessly without any issues. Now coming to the processor on this one, the processor used on this one is the new MediaTek Dimensity 8020, and this is based on 6 nanometer process, and I believe this is the first smartphone in the world that is actually using that processor. So I was also very, very curious about it, what will be the performance of this one. So I ran some benchmarks. Let me actually just show you. Let's just go to I saved some benchmark scores. Let's go to Google Photos. And this is the first I ran the Geekbench 6, and as you can see, we got a very healthy score of 1105 for single core, and for multi-core we got a score of 3565, which is actually very good. I again also ran Antutu to gauge in India how it is, and if I just open Antutu, And if I go over here, also, if you notice, we got a very, very good score of 6,87,927. That's almost 6,88,000 that we are getting on this smartphone. So that way, in terms of performance, also the performance would be actually pretty good. As I've told you, we have just set this to 144 hertz, and then also I'm noticing no lag or anything on this smartphone. And again, as you notice, the RAM management seems to be good. Again, I noticed that the scrolling, everything is very, very smooth because of that 144 hertz refresh rate. Again, because of this curved edges, the handset actually looks a lot more premium, I would say, in person. And when I asked my family members to gauge the price of this smartphone, they told yes, and they asked me what are some of the features. I told them some of the features that they told me, and they picked it up, and they said must be above 50 or around 50,000. So yes, in terms of looks and everything, they have done a great job. And immediately the weight is also evident. The moment you pick up the phone, you'll be surprised at how light the phone is. And I like that. Though it's a light phone, it has some of the advanced features like that IP68 water resistance that I showed you. Also, wireless charging is there. Not the low 7.5 watt, but the proper 15 watt wireless charging is there. And guys, here are all the specs for your reference. Now let's also talk about the cameras on this one. And as I've told you, only two cameras. The main camera is a 50 megapixel, but the aperture is f1.4 on this one. That why it lets in a lot of light. And I'll show you samples that I've shot in actually night conditions, because I really wanted to test that, because Motorola is generally weak there. So I'll show you some of the samples. And the second camera does a job of that, of course, ultra wide and a lot of other things. The front facing camera, that punch hole one, is a 32 megapixel, but I like the fact that video we can record up to 4K on this. But one interesting thing that I noticed on this smartphone is that in video, again, you have the standard stabilization option is there, but if you press this is the horizon lock. And what happens is that even while you're shooting the video, if you shake like this, if you enable the horizon lock, the video will be very, very steady. We actually saw this in a lot of action cameras, so glad that Motorola has brought that horizon lock even to this one. Let me show you the sample shots that I've taken with this smartphone now. For a change, let's start with the pics shot at night. As you can see, these pictures were shot at night and not that great lighting situation. Though the pictures came out a lot brighter. This is how it actually looked, but this is how the picture actually came out. So it brightens up the picture quite a bit. And human subjects also actually come out good at night. This was in portrait mode, and as you can see, this also came out good. I also like that there is enough sharpness even in this dull lighting condition. This was the regular mode, and this was taken in the portrait bokeh mode. Again, this was taken in the regular mode, and this was in the ultra wide. Now for some sample shot during the day, and again the dynamic range is also good, and this is with the ultra wide. Now some samples with the front facing camera. These were taken in the regular mode, and now I switched to the portrait bokeh mode. So guys, this is the Motorola Edge 40. What do you guys feel about this smartphone? And do you think this is the new, flagship killer in the market? Definitely, I would say I am actually very impressed with this smartphone, because to be very frank, in 2023, almost half the year is gone, and the type of smartphones I was seeing, I never thought that any brand would release a really good, challenging smartphone with a lot of features under 30,000. But I was wrong, and this Motorola Edge 40 actually gives us that. So again, a very, very impressive smartphone. After actually using this smartphone for a day or two, I'm actually a lot more impressed. But what do you guys feel about this one? Do let me know in the comment section below. And again, guys, stay tuned to my channel. I'll try to post the full in-depth review of this smartphone very, very soon. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.